While you are burning midnight oil at your desk, someone else is taking credit for your work. While you are grinding 80-hour weeks, your colleague who leaves at 5 p.m. just got promoted. Machiavelli knew a secret 500 years ago that modern society desperately hides from you. Hard work is a trap designed to keep you powerless. And today, I'm going to reveal why the hardest workers rarely win, and what the real players do instead. Stay until the end, because what I'm about to show you will fundamentally change how you see success forever. Act 1. The Illusion. Let me tell you a story about two men in Renaissance Florence. The year is 1503. The first man, Giovanni, wakes up at dawn every single day. He works in the Medici banking house, arriving before anyone else and leaving long after the candles burn low. He meticulously counts every coin, double-checks every ledger, stays late to finish reports nobody asked for. Giovanni believes in hard work. He believes that dedication and effort will be noticed and rewarded. The second man, Francesco, arrives at a comfortable hour. He spends his mornings in the piazzas, talking to merchants, sharing wine with government officials, listening to gossip. He works perhaps 4 hours a day, but those 4 hours are spent in the right rooms, with the right people, saying the right things. 10 years later, Giovanni is still counting coins, his eyes weakened from squinting at ledgers by candlelight, his back bent from hunching over desks. Francesco? He owns 3 banking houses. He dines with the Medicis. His children are arranged to marry into noble families. What happened? Giovanni fell for the oldest scam in civilization. And you are falling for it right now. Act 2. Machiavelli's Revelation. Niccolò Machiavelli understood something about power that makes people deeply uncomfortable. In The Prince, he didn't write about hard work. He didn't praise dedication or effort. Instead, he wrote about perception, strategic alliances, and the calculated use of cruelty and kindness. Why? Because Machiavelli observed the real world, not the fairy tale we are sold. He watched hardworking bureaucrats die in obscurity while cunning manipulators rose to command armies. He saw virtuous men executed while scheming opportunists claimed their positions. And he realized something crucial: the game of power has rules, but they are not the rules you were taught in school. Here's what Machiavelli actually said, translated for our modern age: it is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Notice what's missing? Any mention of working harder than everyone else. Shift tone, more direct to camera. The hard work mythology serves a purpose. It keeps the masses busy, exhausted, and compliant. If you are told that success comes from effort alone, you'll spend your life spinning your wheels while never questioning why the laziest people you know somehow keep winning. Think about your own workplace right now. Who actually got the last promotion? Was it the person working the longest hours? Or was it the person who had lunch with the right executive? The person who took credit for the team's work in the meeting? The person who knew how to play the political game? Machiavelli would tell you, the person who cannot deceive is easily deceived. The person who proudly works hard with their head down is blind to the chess game happening around them. Act 3. The Dark Psychology of Effort. Let me reveal the psychological manipulation at play here. From childhood, you are programmed with a simple equation: effort is equal to reward. Do your homework, get good grades. Practice your sport, make the team. Work overtime, get the promotion. But this is operant conditioning, a psychological trick used on rats in laboratories. And you are the rat. The reality is far more sinister. Hard work serves 3 purposes for those in power. Purpose 1. Distraction. When you are working 60-hour weeks, when do you have time to learn real power skills? When do you network? When do you study human psychology, persuasion, or political maneuvering? You don't. You are too exhausted. That's intentional. Machiavelli wrote, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." The fool works hard for decades to learn this lesson. The wise man learns it immediately and conserves his energy for what actually matters. Purpose 2. Exploitation. Your hard work generates value. But who captures that value? In most cases, it's not you. It's the person who owns the system you are working within. The person who positioned themselves correctly doesn't need to work hard because they've built a structure where your hard work flows upward to them. The Machiavellian understands, power is not what you have, but what the enemy thinks you have. While you are generating real value through labor, someone else is generating perceived value through positioning. Guess which one gets rewarded? Purpose 3. Control. A tired worker is a compliant worker. When you're exhausted from giving your all, you don't have energy left for rebellion, innovation, or disruption. The system doesn't want you thinking clearly. It wants you grinding. This is why every motivational poster shows someone sweating and straining. Why every commencement speech preaches hard work. Why every success story is packaged as a tale of endless effort. It's a narrative designed to keep you in your place. Act 4. What the players actually do. So if hard work is a trap, what do the real players do instead? What would Machiavelli do in your corporate job, your business, or your career? Strategy 1. Strategic visibility. The Machiavellian doesn't work harder. They work more visibly. Remember Francesco from our story? He understood that being seen matters more than actual output. In modern terms, this means speak in meetings, even if you have little to say. Send important emails when executives are online. Attach your name to successful projects, even tangentially create the perception of indispensability. One perfectly timed presentation is worth 1,000 hours of unseen labor. Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are." Your job isn't to be the best worker. It's to appear as the most valuable asset. Strategy 2. Alliance building. Hard workers focus on tasks. Players focus on relationships. Every organization is a web of alliances and factions. The Machiavellian maps this web constantly. They know who has the real power versus who has the title, which alliances are stable and which are fracturing, where the political winds are blowing before anyone else notices. They don't waste time perfecting a report. They have lunch with the decision maker who will approve it regardless of quality because they've built a relationship. Machiavelli advised, make yourself necessary to those in power. Not through hard work, but through strategic positioning. Strategy 3. Information control. Knowledge is power, but only if others don't have it. The hard worker shares everything freely, believing transparency will be rewarded. The Machiavellian carefully controls information flow. They know what others are working on. They reveal their own projects selectively. They position themselves as gatekeepers of crucial knowledge. They never volunteer information that could be used against them. In Renaissance Italy, the most powerful families weren't the hardest workers. They were the best informed. Nothing has changed. Strategy 4. Energy conservation. Here's the dark truth. Stamina is a strategic resource. While your colleague is burning out on busy work, the player is fresh, sharp, and ready to execute when opportunities arise. Machiavelli understood that power requires clarity of mind. Exhaustion is the enemy of strategic thinking. The player delegates or ignores low-value work, guards their energy jealously, appears busy without actually being busy, saves their real effort for visible, high-impact moments. They work smart, not hard. And they never, ever let you see them sweat. Act 5. The moral question. Now, I can hear what you are thinking. This is manipulative. This is wrong. This isn't who I want to be. And you are right. It is manipulative. Machiavelli himself was controversial precisely because he described the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. But here's the uncomfortable truth. While you are being moral, someone else is being effective. And they are winning. Let me tell you about another person. Her name is Maria, and she worked at a tech startup. Maria was brilliant, hardworking, and genuinely kind. She arrived early, stayed late, mentored junior employees, and produced exceptional work. She believed that excellence spoke for itself. Her colleague, David, was average at best. But David understood the game. He took credit for team successes in executive meetings. He befriended the CEO at social events. He strategically excluded Maria from important emails. He made himself appear indispensable while she was invisible. When promotion time came, David got the position. Maria got a thank you email. Direct to camera. Maria had a choice. Continue being good and accept defeat, or learn the rules of the actual game being played. Here's what Machiavelli would say: it is better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. You are in a war right now, whether you acknowledge it or not. Your colleagues, your competitors, your opponents, they are playing to win. If you refuse to learn the rules, you've already lost. This isn't about becoming evil. It's about becoming aware. It's about protecting yourself in a world that will absolutely exploit your naivety. The question isn't whether you'll play the game. The question is whether you'll play it consciously or be a pawn in someone else's strategy. Act 6. The hard truth about success. Let's talk about the people you admire. Your heroes. The CEOs, The influencers, the successful entrepreneurs, the leaders. Do you really think they outworked everyone? Or do you think they outpositioned, outmaneuvered, and outthought everyone? Steve Jobs didn't code Apple's products himself. He manipulated, inspired, and controlled a team that did. Elon Musk doesn't build rockets with his own hands. He's a master of narrative control and strategic positioning. Jeff Bezos didn't outwork his warehouse employees. He built a system that extracted maximum value from their effort. The successful don't work the hardest. They work the system the hardest. Machiavelli observed that princes who relied on their own virtue and hard work often lost their principalities, while those who built strong foundations of allies, fear, and strategic positioning kept their power even through adversity. Think about your own life right now. How much time are you spending on actual strategic thinking versus just doing tasks? How much energy goes into positioning versus production? How much attention do you pay to the political landscape of your environment versus just keeping your head down? If you are honest, the ratio probably looks bad. And that's exactly what those above you want. They want you focused on work while they focus on power. They want you to believe in meritocracy while they practice Machiavellianism. The hardest pill to swallow is this: you've been taught a comforting lie because the truth is threatening to those in power. Act 7. The path forward. So what do you do with this information? First, audit your effort. Look at where you are spending energy and ask, is this visible? Is this strategic? Is this building my position, or someone else's? If you are working late on a project nobody important will see, stop. Redirect that energy toward building a relationship with someone who can advance your position. Second, study power dynamics. Read Machiavelli. Read Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. Read Influence by Robert Cialdini. Understand the psychological principles that actually govern human behavior, not the fairy tales you were fed. Third, build your strategic network. Who are the power players in your environment? How can you make yourself valuable to them? What information, skills, or connections do you have that they need? Fourth, control your narrative. What do people think about you? Is it accurate? Is it useful? Start shaping how you are perceived intentionally. Fifth, conserve your energy. Stop volunteering for everything. Stop staying late for no reason. Stop being exploited under the guise of team player. Your energy is a strategic resource. Use it strategically. And finally, understand this: awareness is the first step to power. By watching this video, you've already begun the transformation from pawn to player. Machiavelli wrote, "Where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot be great." You now have the awareness. The question is whether you have the will to act on it. The hard work scam has trapped billions of people in quiet desperation, believing that if they just try a little harder, work a little longer, give a little more, success will finally arrive. It won't. Because hard work was never the price of success. Strategic positioning was. Calculated relationships were. Controlled perception was. Machiavelli knew this 500 years ago. The people currently succeeding around you know this now. The only question is, when will you stop being the person they exploit and become the person who understands the game? The choice has always been yours. But now, at least you know the real rules. If this video made you uncomfortable, good. That means you are starting to see the matrix for what it is. Subscribe to this channel because we are going deep into the psychology of power, manipulation, and success that nobody else wants to talk about. Drop a comment telling me, what's one Machiavellian strategy you've witnessed in your workplace? Let's discuss in the comments. And if you want to go deeper, check out my video on the 48 Laws of Power Explained, where we break down the exact tactics the elite use to maintain control. Remember, the game is already being played. The only question is whether you are playing or being played. I'll see you in the next one.